Yes, people, just out on my local, literally just out at my local. It's an early morning one, this is. I think it's about 6:30, something like that. Is it 6:30? I'm gonna watch how you reacting. But yeah, it's an early one over my local. Just been to the gym this morning. Thought I'd get out on the bicycle. Got a bit of spare time before I go away for the weekend. And yeah, let's get a fitness ride in, see if I can get about 10-12 miles in if I can. Some off-piste stuff. And while I'm at it as well, it just come to me, there's a couple of people have been asking me about one of my last videos when I left it as a bit of a cliffhanger, you know, like about Josh's bike, the stolen bike and whatnot. And I was going to leave it because obviously Josh, he ain't got his bike no more, and I wanted him to be with me while we explained it, sort of thing. But I'll run through it today on this video, because to be honest, I've come out today just to check everything. I want to make sure everything's right, and while I've been checking the bike last night, ready for today, noticed I've got no bloody, there's nothing on my back pads, so I need to get some brake pads today at some point before I go away. But yeah, man, let's get at it. Man. Regarding that bike, Josh's bike, like I say, I'll run through it. I'll start the runs, ride and talk at the same time, explain it as best I can, as accurate as I can, and yeah, basically let you guys know about the stolen bike scam that you want to avoid, really, because I've heard about it before, to be fair, people doing it before, but yeah, it's a good job that I'm a bit more streetwise than my mate Josh, because if I'm honest, as soon as he heard the word stolen bike, his head fell off. He was ready to give the bike back and this and that, and I was kind of like analysing the situation and reading into it, looking from the outside in, and it was just plainly obvious to me that there was a scam going on somewhere, but I just couldn't figure out who. But then where it got interesting was when the insurance company, even they tried to scam him out of some money, which I found a bit naughty, really. But yeah, like I say, man, we'll get into it 100%. We'll drop in and get into it. It's nice and fresh this morning though, lovely. Right then, let's drop in on this. Hopefully it ain't too soggy. I'm hoping it's riding nice, because we had a bit of rain last night. It's drying up a bit. Just the roots, man. Only thing I hate about the rain is the leaves slapping off your arms when it's all wet. But yeah, man. Right, let's get into it. So basically, back in December, my mate Josh, obviously, looking for an e-bike. He's messaged me, saw one on Marketplace, and there was a Rocky Mountain for sale. He had a Santa Cruz, paid good money for this Santa Cruz, but he wanted an e-bike, so he's gone and he's picked me up. We've gone and looked at this e-bike in Birmingham. It's Rocky Mountain, really nice bike. The lad who bought it off, he was a bit of a lad, like, but he was a straight geezer, to be fair. You know, we went to his house, bought it from his house, you know, nothing to hide sort of thing, and transferred money to his missus' account. So, like, done our due diligence, done check on the bike, stolen bike register, on the frame number, everything like that, and everything come back clean, squeaky clean. There was nothing to say, nothing untoward to say that this bike had any kind of issues or it was dodgy or anything like that. So my mate Josh has bought the bike, like I say, transferred some money and done a deal against the Santa Cruz. Took the bike home, rode the bike for a little while, and 2 weeks of riding the bike, that's when problems started to arise. The motor packed up on the bike, so obviously he's done the deal, can't go back to the guy, you know, it's 2 weeks has passed. So basically, what we didn't realise at the time, you know, we've done all our research on the bike and whatnot and checks to see if it's legit. But what we didn't check out and realise was Rocky Mountains are not. There's not so many dealers in the UK that deal with this brand, and we soon found that out. So what we ended up doing is ringing around a few places, started with our local bike shops. They weren't interested, so at this point Josh lost hope in the bike. Christmas was coming up, he had other things going on, so we just basically started to break the bike down and sell the bike, sell the bike in bits, sort of thing. So nice. Yeah, started to sell the bike in bits, and then he was going to get a new one on finance because he was a bit, you know, pissed off that he's had a bike, going to spend X amount on a bike, only had it for so many weeks and it's packed up, sort of thing. Didn't get no enjoyment out of it. So yeah, the next plan was, we've tried our local bike shops, tried to get it sorted, and no joy. So we've ended up, he's ended up started to break the bike down, started to sell the parts off it to try and get some money back, because he was looking at it like he's had a bike 2 weeks, it's dead money, needs to pull something back in, which is understandable. Yeah, so let's try this one. I'm expecting it to be a little bit soggy, but should be alright. Oh, straight off the bat. So yeah, Josh is selling bits off the bike, this and that. Then out the blue we get a message, well, Josh does, not myself, obviously it's Josh's bike, just to let you know that bike's stolen, watch what you're doing with it, etc, etc. So okay, that's perked our ears up a little bit. Like I say, Josh, he ain't a streetwise guy like myself. He's, no, he ain't a dafty, but he's just a panicker, and I've sent me that, he's panicked. I'm kind of, you know, sceptical. I'm thinking, well, why would anyone just message you that out of the blue, sort of thing. So told Josh, message him back, get some more info. We've done that. Now I've come back with basically, you know, the bike's a special build, it's this and that and blah blah blah. So we've basically said, okay, send us the info over and we'll look into it ourselves. Sent us a bit of info over, where the bike's come from, a couple of Facebook statuses, posts from months, I think it was over like 8 or 9 months back, from when he's purchased the bike. And Josh is like a detective, so he started digging into it, started ringing around, and he's given a bike shop. I don't want to name the shop, but they're a bit naughty, to be fair, but I don't want to name the shop. But there's only, like I said, there's not many Rocky Mountain dealers in the UK, so some of you will figure it out, some of you won't. But yeah, he's basically managed to get in touch with the shop where the bike's apparently come from, give him the rundown, told him he's got a motor, it's packed in, he started breaking the bike down, can you he's transferred the warranty over with Rocky Mountain to Josh has into his name, you know, so that itself lets you know that, you know, he's done everything legitimately. He's registered the bike in his own name with Rocky Mountain, they've allowed that, the warranty, etc, etc. And this was when the guy, sorry people, battery just went dead. I had to head back to the car and go get a fresh battery. Can't believe it, to be fair. Unprepared. My bad. Yeah, man. Well, basically, Josh called up the bike shop where the bike come from, and he basically give him the rundown, give him the frame number. Then that's where the issue come. The guy at the bike shop, I ain't gonna mention his name, he's basically turned around to Josh and says, look, that bike's stolen, we're not gonna work with you, we're not gonna do anything for you, help you out or anything like that. Fair enough. So, you know, we got into it. I asked him why, how come, what makes you think it's stolen. He's turned around, give us the rundown on what's happened, well, what he's been told that's happened. The bike was taken in a robbery apparently in Somerset, and etc, etc. Then, so I asked the guy, I said, you know, give us some more details, sort of thing. Just give us, because I need proof of this, you know what I mean? If you want this bike back, I need proof. So he's then give us a crime number. So then, you know, I don't know whether he's calling our bluff or what, but if you give us the crime number, then I've ended up taking that crime number. First of all, I called up the police station. I said to him, I says, listen, I need, come back, says, no, the bike's not stolen, this and that. So, took the frame in, said, no, the bike's not stolen, done all the checks, everything like that. So then obviously, that's when the ball got rolling with myself. And I said to Josh, I says, look, the geezer's trying to scam you, sort of thing. I'm not sure if the bike shop's involved or whatever, but it's definitely not stolen. So we then got back onto the bike shop. Actually put us onto the owner. But what was a bit weird in the first initial conversation was the owner of the shop actually turned around to us and said he found it a bit odd himself how all his tools went missing and the bike was there, and it was 24-hour security on this site. So, you know, we didn't question it though. It just got our cogs ticking in our heads, and then literally we got in touch with the owner. Let's call him Mr. D. He's give us his version of events, this and that. We said, look, we've taken the bike to the police station, we've given them a call regarding this bike frame. What do you want us to do? He was like adamant, just drop the bike off, I want the bike back. I said, look, I'm not just going to give you the bike, you know what I mean? I says, if you want the bike, I says, go and pick it up from the police station. When I said that, his tone kind of changed. And I said, right, who's the insurance company that you've claimed the bike, you know, you've been paid out from? And, you know, technically, if this bike's stolen and you're saying you've reported it and been paid out on it, it's their bike. So, I was, bizarrely enough, I was shocked, I was surprised that it give us the insurance company details. So then I give the insurance company a call, spoke to a lady there, and this is where it got interesting. When we initially spoke to her, I give her the frame number, give her the rundown of the details. She was like, yeah, this is definitely our bike, we've paid out on this bike, you know, don't do anything with the bike, because, you know, we own it. We were like, yeah, no problem, all we want to know is a compromise. Obviously you're not going to want the bike back now, you paid out on it, can we buy it off you, or do you want us to drop the bike back? She was like, let me speak to the underwriters and whatnot and we'll get back to you. Right. At this point now, the insurance gets back to Josh and says, right, keep the bike. If you put a request back for your money, your funds from your bank of what you transferred, and then transfer that to us and you can keep the bike. I was like, no, that doesn't sound right to me. You know what I mean? Obviously, we'll either just buy the bike, or if you don't want the bike back, we need just an email confirmation or a receipt just to say that this bike is, you know, been stolen, it's been sorted, and you can keep the bike, sort of thing, or a receipt to say that we've transferred you the funds and paid for it. She didn't want to go down this route, which I thought was a bit odd, because to me that was just the simplest and fairest option for all parties involved without losing any more money. A couple of days passed. She says she's got to go back to the underwriters, come back to us again. She says you can keep the bike this time. You can keep the bike's all yours. Okay, Josh has then got back to them and says, I need that in writing, obviously, so we can get warranty sorted out, any other issues, if anyone else claims it's stolen, he needs it in writing, which is, you know, understandable. Next thing you know, she's come back to him with an email stating, basically, I can't give it you in writing, that bike's not our bike, it doesn't belong to us, it was not the bike we paid out on. Yeah, basically the bike's yours, in an email. Now, to me, they knew that all along. So basically, that insurance company, to me, were basically trying to get £3,500 out of Josh, because they were asking him to claim back from his bank account. £3,500 out of Josh for a bike that they knew that they didn't own or didn't pay out on. And, like, you know, initially, obviously it was naughty that this guy, Mr. D, who claimed he owned the bike and whatnot, it was a bit crazy that, you know, he was trying to scam us. I've heard of these scams all the time, that, you know, people sell bikes or, you know, pay too much for bikes and claim that they're nicked, sell them, a couple of months down the line, when they see someone out on them or see them advertised, they just phone up the people that are selling them or riding them and say, look, that's my bike, it was nicked, etc, etc, and they hand the bikes back and they get a bike back for free. That's just a known scam. But for the insurance company to get involved and try a little bit of a scam was a bit of a shocker, to be fair. That was the one that got us and threw us off. But yeah, that's kind of where we got with it, sort of thing. And yeah, Josh, it just basically disheartened Josh to the point where he just lost interest, because he was worrying about it. He was worrying about police knocking his door and things like that. And he just got rid of the rest of the bike and just packed it in, which is a shame, really, because, you know. Yeah, I don't know if I explained that very well, because I was trying to literally focus on the drone, focus on recording and riding at the same time, which I've never done before, so I might have to voice over that. Who knows? But yeah, so basically, the guy, I can concentrate more when I'm just riding, to be fair. The boy that sold the bike, he was basically looking for, he's put a false claim in basically with insurance. That's what it turned out to be. He was basically, he's seen his bike advertised, he's got rid of his bike somehow. I do believe it was his bike, but it's not the bike that he's claimed for on the insurance, so I don't know what's gone on there, sort of thing. But yeah, he definitely was after a free bike, because it was quite funny actually when he said to us, when we said to him, what do you want to do? He was like, oh well, I want my bike back. He says, just drop it off. And that was when I said, well, I ain't just going to drop it off, you know what I mean? Anybody could say that. But what I will do, I says, I'll drop it to a police station, and says you can pick it up from there with your proof, that it's, you know, proof of purchase, etc. As soon as I said that, his tone changed. Like, it was quite funny, to be fair. Yeah, so basically the outcome of that whole scenario was basically, because it turned out he had proof from the police, the bike wasn't stolen, etc. He then approached a different company and they sorted it all out for him, no problem. Josh had to get in touch with, because the initial company and the guy from the initial company put a block on the warranty claim because they told Rocky Mountain that the bike was stolen, which caused a big problem, to be honest, which he was a bit naughty for. He had to, Josh had to get in touch with a guy called, I think, Julian from Rocky Mountain, sending him all the proof over, communications with the police, and before he released the warranty claim. And to be honest, the guys from Rocky Mountain were absolutely bang on apparently, so according to Josh. So the process there, got his bike sorted, got the bike fixed, he built it back up with some parts, and then basically got rid, like I say, because he lost heart in it, to be fair. So we got rid. Yeah, which is a shame really. But what I find odd is the guy who owned the bike shop, he knew we was onto him, because every time we started phoning to get some information, they thought they were clever. They basically thought they were clever, but the more they spoke, the more they were dropping themselves in it. And he knew we were onto him, because after a certain point, when I started saying, look, this story don't add up, sort of thing, you know, I says, why, you know, we've gone to the police, told, you know, explained them the situation, they've run it through the register, given the crime number that says that bike doesn't match with the bike that's been put on the description, the bike that's been paid out for. The frame number would have been given to the insurance for the payout before they'd even pay out. As soon as I started mentioning these things, all of a sudden, when we were phoning up to speak to the guy who initially gave us the information, he was scarce. All of a sudden it was like, oh, so and so's down the warehouse. He was always down the warehouse towards the end, always down the warehouse, didn't want to come on the phone. Now if you've got a company, you know, you don't hide away, do you? Do you know what I mean? You front it if you're honest and genuine, you front it, sort of thing. But crazy, absolute craziness. And I asked him as well, I did put it on him, I says, listen, why are you like posting all over Facebook that this bike's nicked? I says, you're a company. I says, that can have a detrimental effect to your company. I says, why are you posting all over Facebook that a bike's stolen of somebody's say so? I says, when you haven't done your due diligence. I says, it's taken me all of a day to get in touch with certain people from, you know, police and things like that, to find out that the bike's not stolen. I says, before I'd have put that all over my company Facebook page and personal page, I says, don't you think you should have made sure that it was 100% stolen before you make yourself look a bit silly? And he took it a bit offensive, but I was just being straight. You know, that's the truth. But he did take it a bit offensive, to be fair. He was like, oh, you can say all these fancy words and gaslight me and this and that. I said, mate, I'm not gaslighting, I'm just stating facts. But yeah, like I say, you just gotta be careful out there, man. Scams everywhere, marketplace, even in the mountain bike industry. They're always finding new ways to scammers, man, to scam people. And there's always people that you wouldn't think that are getting involved in these scams, because I think the be all and end all is times are tough, people are struggling, even businesses. My honest opinion is that this company is selling people bikes overpriced. Not overpriced, sort of thing. He's selling people bikes that are probably 10 grand, advising people to claim. This is just my thoughts on it, my opinion, just from the experience we've had. Telling people to, you know, put this part's on, that part on, etc, etc, etc. Probably making a 6 grand bike 10 grand. And he's probably telling people, insure it, say it's worth X amount. they'll pay you out 3 or 4 grand so you get your money back, and you've had a, you know, 10 grand bike for 6 grand. That's my opinion on it, but I don't know the facts when it comes to that side of things. But what I do know is there's definitely something going on, 100%. But yeah, man, I hope that explains it, sort of thing. Man, I've got nothing on my back brake pads now, man. I can hear it touching the rotor. I can hear the metal touching the rotor. But yeah, like I say, I hope that explains it, sort of thing. But I've rambled on a little bit about it, but I hope that kind of, you know, it's a bit scatty the way I've done it, because obviously I tried to get the drone out, tried to ride and concentrate and explain it at the same time. But like I say, this was just a fitness ride, you know what, just take the camera. I did leave it like on a bit of a cliffhanger. People were asking me what's going on with it, sort of thing, so yeah, I'm sure I'd explain, man. Right, let's see what this one's like. Tell you what, it's warming up. It's nice. Especially now we've had a bit of rain as well. If I'm honest, I'm running my tyres a little bit too hard, but it's all good. It's all good. I nearly come off. Trying to avoid the puddles, that was being a little fairy. But yeah, if there's anything you feel of missed out, or anything else anyone wants to know about it, just give me a shout, or a comment, or whatever, because like I say, I've explained it the best I can. Try and make it make sense, if that makes sense, because I think it was one of them things where if you weren't involved in it, it was a bit of a tricky one. It's a bit of a tricky one to get, to be honest, because like I say, they were very cute. The way that, bloody hell. The way that they kind of executed the scam, to be honest. Jump on this. I can't remember what this is now. Well, it's either way. Oof. Yeah, like I say though, there'll be some people out there that'll try jump on and defend it on behalf of the bike company, or, but it is what it is. Like, you can't even deviate. Oh shit, pedal strike. I'll tell you what, say I've been up for a while. I'm feeling alright on a bike, to be honest. I don't feel too rusty. Oh, what? The bracken. So glad. I didn't see that till last minute, man. I'm so glad it was weak enough to just plough straight through it. That was sticking up. To have had me over the bars, that would have proper sent me, that would have. I didn't even see it. God, I can hear the... I don't know if you can hear it on the camera, but the old brake pads rubbing so bad. Ah, hit them leaves, man. I'm soaking wet now on my back. Whew. Just dropping on this one again. I like this one. Surprised it's only soggy here at the top, to be honest. Surprises me, because last time I rode this, it was soggy all the way down. Puddle there. That's about it, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, blown out a bit there. Nice. I like this run. going, man. Looks like you're only going 2 miles an hour on the GoPro. Bloody GoPro effect, man. Makes it look like you're going slow as anything, especially compared to like when you watch the pros, like on Red Bull TV and stuff like that. You watch their GoPro footage and it looks quick. So as a rider, you know that they're actually going very quick because you know what it's like. But to the average person, you know what I mean, the average armchair viewer, don't actually go out on ride bikes, but they're into bikes and just watch it. You probably think we're just riding really slow. Mad. Right, I've stumbled across this trail. Don't know what it is. Never ridden it before, like I say. I was just gonna get to. I hope it ain't too muddy. First section I come. Whoa. Do you know what it is? I don't fancy getting grimy today at all. Well, good God, that needs to be sent, that does, when it's dry. And that. Whoa. Try there on the right hand side. I tried this in the I found this on one of my night videos not so long back, and if I remember rightly it was a bit mucky, but well, let's see what it's like in the daytime. It seems alright, to be fair. I think we branched off to the right here. Oh, can't even slow down, I'm just gliding. I think there's a few people reading this now. Oh, that's a new one straight ahead. So allow me. We'll stick to this one. See what it's all about. Right, so far, a bit up and down. This feels more like a feels more like a XC loop than a downhill trail. Oh God. Oh, you know what? Didn't even know. I remember it being there, but I didn't realise it was coming up so soon. So I'll go around that for now. Jump back on here. Wow. Slick. Proper slick, man. Whoa. Tell you what, if you weren't the best on the bike, man, I'd have you off, that would. 100%. Slick. Ooh. Yeah, if I've like I say, when I have a story about the bike and whatnot, if it's come out a bit scatty, apologies for that, but like, explain it the best way I can without Josh being here, obviously, to confirm things and whatnot. It was just because people are still asking me about it, which is fair enough, because I left it on a bit of a cliffhanger. But I weren't going to do it whilst I was riding. We were going to do it like, we were going to go to a bike park and on the way there in the van talk about it, pull the emails up and the phone conversations, because my phone, I record all my phone conversations and things like that. We're going to do it that way. We're going to do it as a proper video sort of thing, basically based on that. But like I say, Josh has just lost heart, lost interest in the whole e-mountain biking at the minute, which is fair enough. Concentrating on his motocross, which he's really good at, so don't blame him. But and his son's really into it as well, bless him. But yeah, so it is what it is, sort of thing. Hope I've explained it the best way I could whilst riding. Probably could have done it a bit better, but whilst riding, concentrating, thinking about things and trying to put it together as a video. It might not even turn out good. I don't even know if I'm going to put it together, to be fair, but we'll soon see. But yeah, man, that's me done. I'm going to go home now, pack my bags, and I'm going away. Going to find me some sunshine. And I'll see you all in the next one, like I say.